Peace and power. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. Peace and power to the beautiful, melanated people of the struggle. How are you? I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power. As you come on in, know that this is a safe space. Know that this is a space for learning and getting learned up. Know that this is a space for educating and being educated. Know that this is a space for conversation, comments and concerns, questions and answers. This is a space of intelligence, a space of integrity. This is your space, a space of love, a space of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, a space of power, a space of justice, a space of the unknown, a space where we are working on a united path towards what? True liberation. As my classroom assistants come on in, please keep all contact information in the chat for the duration and throughout the class. Please keep all funding information. Hashtags, funding green screens, funding apps with cash, pals that pay grams that have money, unions that are Western, charity plates, goddamn it, jingle bells, blue cups, red cups, zakat, damn it, the rev, god damn it, anything, send a kite. Boy, I tell y'all, it's a war going on outside. Fund the war effort. If you or anybody you know is in need of anger management, please book an assessment. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until they snatch you by the collar for trying to boost that ultra makeup pack with the extra eyelash brush. Don't wait. Don't wait until it's too late. Until you got a little fender bender and you get out trying to get tough and somebody catch you in the jaw. Don't wait until it's too late. Learn how to de-escalate yourself, how to control your emotions. Yes, get you some anger management. If you or anybody you know is in need of a domestic violence intervention, please book an assessment. Okay? Stop sending each other outside with a pair of tents on. Stop telling your girl, oh girl, I just fell. Okay? Stop telling your mother, Ma, I need some cocoa butter. I got scratched when we was playing basketball. Cut it out. Cut it out. Get yourselves together. Keep your hands off each other. Get you some domestic violence intervention. If you or anybody you know is in need of intimate relationship abuse counseling and a consultation, book an assessment. Okay? Learn the warning signs, the behaviors that should alarm you. Characters and characteristics that should heighten your awareness. Listen, people, places, things that should have your alertness levels on 1,000. Remember, with this information, the life that you save could be your own. Peace and power, peace and power. What's going on? How do? I had a very, very draining day. A lot was going on. And I have to muster the energy up, man. It's nothing, I'm telling you, nothing compares to being a parent. Trust and believe that. I don't know. When people shirk that responsibility or Shrug their shoulders. I don't know how they do it. It is the absolute most stressful job I've ever had. But we here. We're going to talk about it because everybody else is talking about it. I got my Bustelo. I just need a little shot to perk me up, you know, help me get through it. Okay? So tag each other. Get your mans in them, tag them. And your classmates, tell them it's on. We up in here. Share on your social medias. Let it be known that we got to go in. Dummy May made it back to class. Yeah, he did. Yup. He ain't the most important aim for tonight, but he's there. So tag Dummy May. But really, specifically, this is for his security team. Tag them dummies. Yeah, tag them. Tag them. Yeah, we got to speak to them. Because they got to be the dumbest individuals I ever seen. We got on them before, but we got to give them a refresher. Somebody tagged the family of Charlie Kirk and his organization. Tagged them. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to do that about, what time was that? Maybe about 5, 6 o'clock I wanted to do it, but no. I seen people running with it. I said, let me wait till my class get nice and filled up. They home relaxing with their cuppers and all that stuff. So tag them. Tag the Republicans. If you're a Republican, yeah, tag yourself. Tag the Republicans. Yeah, tell them to come on in. And tag any other soft around the heart black folk that y'all know that y'all see crying and whining and oh my gosh and all that weird shit. Tag them. Tell them to bring their ass to class too. Who else we got? Who else we got? You know what? I think that's about it. Because this is a lesson. We're going to really get down to the hearts of men, as Tupac say. Remember that song? Boy, I love that song, The Hearts of Men. Boy, Miss Pac, man. Talk that real shit. So let's see who in class, damn it. Yeah. Boy, Bushhead, what up? And first in class, Merkloaf. Boy, Merkloaf back on number 2. Ooh, wee. And S. Beckles. London is in the building, y'all. What up, Magic? What up, Lil Brit? London is in the house. The UK Massive. Yachty. Yes, the Yachties. Now y'all see, right, that we international around here. Okay? Y'all see it, international around here. This is how the world shifts, right? Salute. What's going on? Donovan, 55, goddamn. Donovan, 55. 55 for Donovan. Make sure y'all get that down, damn it. Donovan got a 55. LA, what up, LA? My comrade, Mr. Strictly Game. In the building. What's going on, comrade? Make sure you keep me right and exact, comrade. Okay? Because they haven't been writing certain things down. So we can't get it specific, but we going to definitely get into it. Yeah, lovely lady, what up? Tierra Green, the youngin' is in the building. Charles, what up, Charles? George, what up, George? God body, salute. Chris, Threats, Philly in the building. What up? Yeah. Philip, what up? Philip, boom, what up? Hey, Wood, what up? Curly J, we see you. Snook the Bed TV with the green apples. Peace. Yeah. Dust Fro, what up? Kim Williams, Bernie, what up, Bernie? We see you. James, 55, James. 55 for James. 55, god damn it. Yeah. C Blaze, what up? Quentin, 55 for Quentin Davis. 50, get him, C Blaze. 55. Make sure you mark them down. 55. Think for yourself. What's going on? Block Monster, what up? See our prophet getters, breed love. Regina, 55 for Regina. 55 for Regina. 55, yeah. Write that down. God damn it, Craig Williams. What up? We see you. 55 for Craig. Terrell Williams. That's right, Rel. I'm with you, Rel. We here. Terrell Williams, let's go. Stay focused. Alright? Fuddy 55. Fuddy 55. Ken Moore 55. God damn it, they in here early tonight, damn it. Yeah. Yeah, we see you. GB, what up? We see him. Neef Buck, Philly, what up? We see you, Neef. What up? Joe Wallace, 55 for Joe Wallace. Molly, what up? We see you. Andrea Jones, what up? Frankie. What up, Frankie? Check that mail for me, Frankie. We see you up in here. Jeff, what up? Construction Site Media TV. We see you. D Stu, peace. What's going on from the Dirty? What up? Yeah, we see y'all. Yeah. Who that? Okay. Oh, morning coffee in the building. I see you. Who that? Darlena, what up? We see you. Okay, what up? Terrain, what up? We see you. Torian, what up? What? Yeah. Let's get to it. Who that? Ty, we see you. Uh-huh. We up in here, damn it. Yeah. You from Hawaii? Hawaii in the building, y'all. What's going on? Yeah, Remarkable Leadership Academy. All right, goddamn it. Your name says intelligence. Let's see what you gonna do. We don't play around here, though. Got to be on point. Yes, sir. Got to be on point. Let's talk about it. Y'all ready? Let's get right to it, damn it. Let's get right to it. Okay, CC Keys, you there, Ron? Let's get to it. Y'all seen it, because I saw it. Y'all seen it, because I saw it. I saw it early. And I seen him do the WAP. Yeah, I seen it. Ain't no boo-hoo in here. Nah, he did the WAP. God damn it. I seen it, well, you know what I said. Huh? You know what I said. I smoke on the mic like Smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser. Come on. You got to protect your neck. Protect your neck. So you don't be on stage doing the WAP. Woo-wee. Damn it. We already got the conspiracy theorists out. We already got the fake news people out. We already got the that was AI people out. I don't know. We gonna leave it up to y'all. Okay? Because remember, it's not our business. Not at all. Not at all. Okay? But I know the WAP when I see it. God damn it. Got to be more careful. The rebel, I make more noise than heavy metal. Yeah. All right? Now we see it. We see the effects. If you're on Twitter, which I usually am more and more these days, because that shit come fast. I don't know what they got going on, but news travel faster than the mama on there. And boy, that literal ritual or sacrifice or whatever you want to call it hit them old face in their chest. They act like they never seen no shit like that. We know better. We see it all the time. So I dare any of y'all to act like, oh my gosh. Ain't no oh my gosh, nothing. I keep saying and educating. Save your empathy for your damn self. Okay? Save your empathy for yourself. That's who needs it. Us. We still politically in a terrible space. And we're going to get into all that tonight. So damn it, strap up. Get comfy. Get your good slippers on. and shit. If you feeling a little tight, you know, because you've been out in the street and you still ain't, listen, I hope you done showered and took off your little undergarments. Get comfortable. Buckle in. Because, yeah, it's going down tonight. We got questions to ask. Okay? We have questions to ask. Now, let's get right to it. Okay? Let's get right to it. Peace. What up, Hood Politics? What's going on? Salute. I see you, Vet. What up? Y'all better get y'all ass up in here early. Yeah, Merklo. Gave him the shakes. God damn it. Charlie Kirk, the CEO and co-founder of the conservative youth organization Turning Point USA, was in critical condition at a Utah hospital Wednesday after being clapped at a college event, a law enforcement official have told the press. Now, that was at that time. That's how early I was on it. Okay? Since then, we know he done expired. Okay? You dig? Huh? Listen. AJ Wise, class member. I have zero empathy. We are in war. Okay? We're going to get back to your statement because that sounds similar to the Utah governors, which I'm trying to figure out. What's with all the heartstrings all of a sudden? Because they bodied Malcolm X in front of his kids, his expecting wife. But see, you don't have no footage of that. So I don't care about his views or what he deserved. He deserved everything they gave him. That's his people, as far as we know it. As far as we know it. That's his people. Up until now, we haven't been traitors to this country, to this establishment. No treasonous acts by melanated people, even though we've been lynched and beat. So I don't feel no ways about his views or not deserving nothing. This is who they are. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. I see y'all already in the chat. Y'all already know where we going with this. This is who they are. This is who they are. Okay? And we're going to get into that. Slow down. Boy, I'm glad. Boy, I got an eager. Boy, my classmates is eager. They know exactly where I'm going with it. Let's continue. Videos posted on social media from Utah Valley University show Kirk speaking into a handheld microphone while sitting under a white tent emblazoned with the slogans, "The American Comeback." The American Comeback and Prove Me Wrong. A single clap rings out and Kirk can be seen reaching up with his right hand as a large volume of what is that? Hemoglobin gushes from the left side of his neck. Wow. Yeah. Stunned spectators are heard gasping and screaming before people start to run. Yeah. The press was able to confirm the videos were taken at the center's courtyard on the Utah Valley University campus. It's ironic, some may say, or, the gematria experts may say, well, listen, it's mighty close to 9/11. mighty close to his born day. It's a lot of number games, but listen, we don't go there. I don't go there with the numbers. I don't go there with all that shit. Okay? Because I know this is a continuous war. This war has been waged. And I told y'all since Tim McVeigh, I'm going to repeat it all the time. They have been given the green light. And these are slow little increments, just like pre-revolution. You understand? Just like pre-Civil War, these things take place because this is what they do. This is part of their game, damn it. Crispic addicts. This is what this country is built on. The American comeback. That it was his slogan, and that is what happened. So maybe in 2025, he the new Crispus addicts as they make an attempt to come back to American values, which is bloodshed. That's American values. That's the comeback. So since he preached it, since he spoke it into the air, here it is. Here it is, the American comeback. So maybe he's the new Crispix addicts. Okay? It's been going down. The American way. Right? Alexander Hamilton. Right? This is what happens. We know it all too well. We lost who? Medgar Evers. I wonder what that footage would have looked like. Right? Our great, beautiful, black, intellectual Malcolm X. Martin Luther King Jr. See, it's funny for me. I could understand them not having no footage of MLK Jr. because he wasn't supposed to step out on the balcony. You understand? Cameras didn't follow him everywhere. You understand? But cameras follow Malcolm everywhere. Malcolm was a threat. They watched him. Okay? They watched Malcolm. And we don't get no footage of that? No footage of that, huh? No footage of them making sure that his wife and his babies witnessed that. That was the same thing. That was the same thing for some of our elders that was sitting in the Autobahn. Brooklyn Jewels, much appreciation for the super chat. That's what we've been living through consistently, right? Fred Hampton, right? Recently, Alton Sterling and come on now, and George Floyd, right? And Eric Garner, and Amadou, consistently. Sean Bell, this is consistent. This is the American way. This is the American way. At least when it comes to us, it is, right? Nah, but y'all had y'all turn, right? John F. Kennedy. Right? Robert F. Kennedy. Shit, that's recent. We could go back to old Abe. Then they knock old Honest Abe off. James Garfield, Will McKinley, Huey Long. This is American politics. So I guess he was making a comeback, like he said, and martyred himself. Andrea Jones, much appreciation for the super war effort. So this is the American way. So I don't want to hear nothing about none of that. What he deserved. I ain't, What do we deserve? What do we deserve? Riddle me that, because this is a educational piece here. Since they want to come in and speak, he didn't deserve it. What do we deserve? Our blood has never stopped spilling. Never stopped spilling. So what do we deserve? Nah, not here. Care about the fuck out of here. Protect your neck. BABYU. To my crew with the woo. You best protect your neck. You best protect your neck. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Now, for those who feel the ways, and again, I always welcome it. Feel the ways. Well, let's remember who he is, what he used to say, what he stood for. Conservative, Republican. Okay? And if that is what's moving you to have empathy for this individual, I got a couple of Republicans that y'all need to show some empathy to. Yeah. Yeah, black Republicans who got clapped too. I bet you didn't know that though, because they don't never talk about it. You understand? Y'all do know that the first Republicans were melanated men. Y'all do know that, right? Y'all think it was easy for them? Y'all think they weren't assassinated? Huh? Y'all don't think so? Y'all don't think that y'all need to keep telling y'all, you coming over here, we're going to learn, we're going to educate each other. So we can get your head in a proper perspective. Because while all this is going on, and of course tomorrow they're going to be talking about it, and then tomorrow's the anniversary for 9/11, they're going to be talking about it, They're not telling y'all about what happened in Nepal. They're not telling y'all about France is on the brink of getting ready to be out of here. That they looking to start something somewhere because they broke since they got kicked out of Africa. You understand? Since y'all want to have some empathy, let's talk about the black Republicans that met the same fate that old Charlie met. Okay? Y'all ever heard of a Caldwell? Did y'all ever heard of Caldwell? Charlie? Y'all ever heard of Charlie Caldwell? No. See, because they want y'all to focus on Charlie Kirk. But we got a Charlie too. Charles Caldwell was a Reconstruction era political and state militia leader in Mississippi. He held office as a state senator and county commissioner before being assassinated in 1875. Look at the thumbnail. You see old black ass Charlie, Republican, assassinated. Okay? Assassinated. Look, listen. A former slave, he was a delegate to Mississippi's 1868 Constitutional Convention. He worked as a blacksmith in Clinton, Mississippi, a small town about 12 miles from Jackson in Hinds County, Mississippi. Republican, elected official. Okay? Political violence in Clinton included the Clinton riot after a political rally of African Americans. Governor Albert Ames authorized a militia in response and put Caldwell in charge of it in Clinton, but later backed down and disbanded it. The U.S. Congress reported on election violence and Caldwell's assassination. A plaque commemorates his life. They don't tell y'all about that, Charlie, though. Do you understand? You won't know about that, Charlie. That Republican Charlie, former slave who got bodied. So he just get a little plaque. But you going to keep Charlie Kirk in people's face. So be it. Okay. Y'all can have it. But we need to go find out what's really good with the Republican Party. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. We got another one. Yeah. Bet y'all didn't know about this one either. Why? Because I ain't know about him. Oh, Wade. Yeah. Did y'all ever learn about Wade? Huh? Tell me, did y'all learn about Wade? Wade Perin? Salute, Zelda. What's going on with you? Much appreciation for the super chat. Y'all don't know about Wade Perrin? Let's go. Because see, after they bodied old Charlie Caldwell, yeah, they was looking for any elected officials, any Republicans, right? Elected officials who were melanated, who were former slaves, and they was taking them out of here. So let's go. After much action on the part of the KKK surrounding the election of 1868, right? They had been relatively quiet until just a few days before the 1870 election. See, it's always around elections and election time, and where you can push policy, you can try to establish new ways of living and codes and taking resources from one and figuring this shit out. Days before the 1870 election, despite intimidation before and at the polls, the Republican Party performed very well in the 1870 elections. As a result of a race riot that took place in Laurel County on the day following the elections, over a dozen Republican members elect, most of them African American, were unalived by white mobs in and around Lawrence. Because this is what they do. This is the American way, like he said. The American comeback. This is what they do. This is... Charlie, this is what you do. This is what they do. Let's continue. Perin. Wade Perin was among the most of the notable victims. Having just been elected to his second term, Perin was close to Cruz, who was accused of creating an uproar and then running away when trouble began, leaving Perin to be unalived. On the evening of October 20th, 1870, Wade Perin, a Republican Party member of the South Carolina House of Representatives, was assassinated by a group of white men affiliated with the KKK. The unalivement took place in present-day Joanna, South Carolina, in the rural southeastern Lawrence County. Perin had been reelected to a second term in the legislature the day before, but riots in and around Lawrence County on the day of the election spurred violence towards at least a dozen Republican members-elect, most of them African Americans. This is what y'all do. So we don't care about old Charlie Kirk. We don't feel that. Not when we got knowledge of self and knowledge of our enemy. We know this is y'all way. Y'all don't know any other way but to dehumanize, to cheat, to enslave. That's what y'all do. It's okay, old Faye, to acknowledge yourself. That's what y'all do. Do you understand that? Yeah, this is the American comeback. Right? As if it ever left. It never left for black folk. Our blood has been spilled consistently. Melanated people, people of African descent, people who are indigenous to this land, black, brown face, our faucet is not leaky. It's a consistent stream of blood here. That's what we do. We bleed here. That's what we do. This soil is drenched in our blood. Oh, Charlie shit was on the stage. Come on, man. Get that shit out of here. Okay? Get that shit up out of here. No empathy here. Pick that ass up and let's go. Let's keep it moving. Tomorrow, we recognize 9/11. Get Charlie ass up out of there. Take him to his family. Let them do what they got to do. Okay? Let them do what they got to do. We recognize 9/11 tomorrow. Okay? Yeah. After being caught by the men, right? We're going back to old Wade Perin, the Republican elected official being chased by the KKK. Okay? Let's go. After being caught by the men and being made to dance, sing, and pray, they ordered Perin to run away, at which point he was clapped and bodied. He was found laying in the street with his pockets turned inside out. Perin was honored with a funeral service held in the House chambers on January 31st, 1871, with the House and State Senate both present. A total of 6 men were ultimately charged for Perin's unalivement, as well as the unalivement of several other black legislators under similar circumstances. That's what they do. That's what they do. Okay? While walking on the street, let's bring y'all up to speed. Okay? While walking on the street by Martin's Depot, south of Clinton in present-day Johanna, Perin was caught by a group of white men affiliated with the KKK. The men ordered Perin to perform a series of actions based on their instructions. To dance, nigga. Then sing, nigga. Then pray, nigga. And finally to run away. As Perin was running, he was clapped and bodied by the men and ended up sustaining 1 or more bullet wounds. Another minister in South Carolina, Reverend Griffin Johnson, was reported in November 1870 to have been unalived under similar circumstances around the same time as Perin. Immediately after the election, there were also incidents in which black men who had voted for the Union Reform Party ticket were attacked by crowds of other black men, other KKK members, including Newberry, Barnwell, and York counties. Okay? Listen. Come on now. Perin was found laying unalive with his pockets turned inside out. The men that found him then went to the nearest doctor and asked him to send for the coroner. That's what they do. That's what they did to black Republicans early on. Okay? Early on. Political discourse in this country usually ends with a bullet. That's evident. Y'all can't reshape history. You can't. We're not dumb. We are not in a space where we aren't articulate. We've learned. I mean, literacy is something that we had to. After y'all denied us the right to read, right? At every book, at every library, usually was a noose or what. So many of our people pushed away formal education, pushed it away. No, I don't want to do that. Until this very day, our students suffer. They feel that same trauma, so in school they act out because they don't want no. Because to be educated, to be articulate, meant that you was going to feel that whip. You was going to taste that noose. So our men push it away. Right? Until we seen beautiful examples of use of the English language and comprehension. So by the time we get to Malcolm, Farrakhan, brother Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, you understand Huey, Dr. Huey P. Newton, you understand? Father Law, formerly Clarence 13X. By the time we get to that, to Naeem Akbar, okay? His name is Wilson, to Dr. John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben. We were no longer ashamed to show that intelligence. But leave it up to white folk, okay? We wouldn't be able to understand anything other than cotton, picking okra, bringing you your mint julep and shit like that. So spare me the bullshit with feeling sympathy, okay, for this young old fay that spoke that shit into existence for himself, okay? All right? He wanted America to come back, so America came back right into his lap, right? Well, right into his neck. Made him do the wop. Yeah. Okay? So we had our taste of political assassination. Man, we had more than enough of our share of being clapped, of shells buzzing through the air and tearing our flesh apart. Yeah, man. We the first to feel that Crispus antics. Yeah. The first. So I taught y'all about old Charles Caldwell, the first Republican Charlie to get clapped. Okay? Now y'all know. Now y'all can go to other platforms and say, no, that's not the most important conservative Charlie to taste that a shell casing. Nah. We got Charlie Caldwell, who the Klan made sure that he was unalived. Okay? Yeah. So yeah, so rest in peace to Charles Caldwell. All right? Yeah. Now. Yeah, because I gotta keep it 1,000. All the way 1,000. All the way. You're gonna save you for later. Because we also got a Democrat, okay, that got bodied under weird circumstances dealing with this so-called democracy over here. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, y'all got me feeling real nice tonight. Real nice. Now, y'all like to send me stuff. And I'll make sure I get to it when y'all send it. Right? Because it's very important to me. Because it means something to you when you send it. You want to know what's on my cap. Because it moved you in a certain way. So I make an attempt to get to it, but I gotta tie it in. That's how come y'all enjoy the class so much, and then y'all sit back, yo, let me watch that again. And y'all go to the replay and catch something else and catch something else. Because that's how we do. We feed off each other energy. So y'all sent me something. Again, like I tell you, y'all blow everybody else up. Everybody numbers is skyrocketing. Everybody is viral. TikTok this and all this other shit. So y'all sending me this woman, brown-skinned woman, nice looking, intelligent. However, y'all send me this one today. Much appreciation, May. See how it's the same names that's consistently coming when it's funding the war effort? Same names all the time. Same names. Much appreciation, May. All right? Let's go. Y'all send me something and she's talking about genocide. God body. Much appreciation for the super chat. Okay? And I said, yeah. You know what? The way she broke it down so eloquently, I said, yeah, maybe half of the class didn't catch the video. So I'm going to build on it. But the important pieces for me is the term genocide, where it came from, how it's used, and tie it to Dummy Mayweather and them black-ass security bouncers or whatever the hell he got with him. Because I keep telling y'all, those are the black-ass devils that you're going to have to deal with when it comes to us securing our space, when it comes to us fighting for liberation, because them black-ass bastards are the ones that's going to disrupt. Because you see how they so protective. They put their lives on the line for Dummy May when he is in cahoots with people who are practicing genocide. They have charges on them by the world body, by other countries charging them with genocide. And Dummy May is right there, shaking hands with them, doing business with them, loving on them, they hugging on them, he back and forth. But you see these black ass individuals, they the ones who should learn the most from today's events. Yeah, because it wouldn't have mattered how much muscle old Charlie Kirk would have had, he would have still did the WAP on stage today. He could have been 350 pounds of pure muscle, cock diesel. And that shell would have went through him like butter. As if he was some Velveeta. Because that's what shells do. Especially with big niggas who believe that they could tell people to shut the F up and move around. Them big, silverback types, they think they could move the crowd and all that. Nah, man. We don't worry about them type. No. At least when we from East New York, no. We like them type. Those are ones who get it the most. Yeah, them dumb big dudes like that that's in the club, they used to come in there with, man, it's nothing like 30, 40, 17-year-old coming from East New York, Brownsville, on your ass for one chain. Because everybody wanted, and everybody wanted to get back on that 3 train saying, yo, I got that. So yeah, hope they pass that chain to big man. Son, you got him? Hell yeah, I got him. And we drag his big ass down. And like a pack of fucking hyenas, yeah. That's how we was ever since we was adolescents. That's when you hear the stories of Union Square and Latin Quarters and all that shit. Yeah. So I don't sit here and condemn who y'all calling YNs. Nah, those are the ones that you have to educate and teach. Because they'll knock them big ass niggas down to their knees for protecting the enemy of our people. That's why they in the thumbnail. Because I'm tired of seeing them. This bounty hunter nigga that y'all got that got 300,000 subscribers, all these big black enemies of the people, their time is coming. Because the old phase is not going to allow them to rock and roll. No, soon they're going to have to come back to black areas. They don't care what they doing. You see, because old Charlie got clipped. That means that's some internal shit that ain't got nothing to do with us. Nothing. When they rocking and rolling, we supposed to mind our business. And get on our business. So they having fun. Protecting this lane. But let's get to this genocide thing here. Because that's why I'm always on him. Because people will sit here and think, well, then why he always on dummy Mayweather? Because he's a dummy. He's a dummy and a dangerous dummy. You dig? But let's go to his mans. See, because again, these big burly ass niggas are standing, putting their life on the line. And he ain't putting his life on the line for them. So in the message to them, the message is also to their family and their loved ones who's watching this dumb shit, or maybe ignoring it because they getting a decent bag. But again, today's events, because somebody asked me on IG, do you believe that today's events is going to set it off? Is this where we at now? No. Why should it? If it was going to set off, then 047 would have been sending the National Guards to Utah. He didn't do it. They didn't talk about Utah. They didn't talk about Colorado. Right? With all these old phases busting their hammers and acting crazy. They're not talking about sending National. They sending National Guard to Chicago. To D.C. Threatening to send them to New York and Philly. But we not the ones that's taking out political people. We not doing that. So 47, if y'all tagging him in the building, ask him. Why y'all gonna send the National Guard to Utah now? That would make sense. What about that other spot where he wowed out on the Catholic children that was praying? Y'all sending the National Guard there? You see how this shit makes zero sense? See how stupid it sounds? But again, I want to bring it all full circle. We're going to bring it up to the top because I want you to understand you have to be in a space where you know who you are in the scope of this stuff here. Because if you don't know who you are, you don't know how your enemy is moving, you understand? You're going to fail. We're going to fail. So let's go. Origin of the term genocide. The word genocide did not exist prior to World War II. It is a specific term coined in 1942 by Polish Jewish lawyer Raphael Lemkin and first used in print in his 1944 book, Axis Rule in Occupied Europe. That is what coined genocide. He is the originator, right? Just like somebody in our culture was the originator of chicken head. We don't know who. We didn't do the knowledge and say, yo, who the hell made that up? That is the goddamn, boy, that is the funniest term ever. Chicken head, right? Thought, right? Derelict, dude, you know what I'm saying? Dun-dun-dun-dun, right? You know what I'm saying? We don't know who made these terms up, but they're here, right? But genocide, okay? And Israel, the Israelis, have been charged with genocide by African nations, right? Who are watching and saying, yo, hold on, that thing y'all doing over there, y'all not right and exact. That's genocide. But even though we know who started it, it's us using it. You're using it as a manifestation of this O-phase belief. So even when we use it, we're using it based on his definition. Okay? So a Jewish individual put this in the air, and it's funny that Jewish individuals now being charged with genocide after they claim they went through it. Excuse me. Funny as hell. Let's get to the legal definition now. Okay? The legal term genocide refers to certain acts committed with the intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. Genocide is an international crime according to the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, 1948. The acts that constitute genocide fall into 5 categories: unaliving members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction, like the crack epidemic, like the heroin epidemic, like the HIV/AIDS epidemic. These are things, okay, conditions calculated to bring about physical destruction that we know that men are responsible for. Ofe men, okay? Imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group. The syphilis experiment. The castration of melanated women. These are things, these are the parts that constituted genocide, shit that we still living through. The Flint, Michigan water crisis. The lack of response with Hurricane Katrina. Okay? The forced, tap tap from the pandemic. This is what we're going consistently. Our people consistently shed blood. This is what us. Right? So now the terms and the definitions of this, people are charging the Israelis with doing right now. But dummy Mayweather run around there. He goes back and forth. He shakes their hands. He does business. He promotes their business and services. But these black bastards are securing him. They're holding him down, making sure nobody touches him and says nothing to him. Shut the F up. Right? Not understanding that they need to check out the actions of today. Because don't matter how big you are, somebody from 200 yards away can make you do the wop. Because old Charlie Kirk wasn't a big man. So the bigger the man, shit, the less you got to aim. But let's not go there just yet. Okay? Let's continue. Because this is what I'm saying about the athletes that got small bankers, right? And bagelmeisters as lawyers and agents. The rappers, right? Yeah, Jay-Z. Yeah. Who else y'all like? The Nas. Yeah. All of them in cahoots. Having non-profits with. Making profits with. Going to deals with. Yeah. With these people. And why? Bliz, because America itself has long been... America put Israel there. Let's go. So you understand why I say that these dudes is bitches. That they don't care about you. They never will. Because it's ingrained in them now. It's ingrained. They done slayed with old fey men. They done let old fey men put their mouth on them. You see Grandpa tried to back it up and twerk on Meek Mill. That ain't no accident. He tried to twerk on him. That's letting you know that that's a common practice. Let's continue. Although the United States supported the Ball for Declaration of 1917, which favored the establishment of a Jewish national home in Palestine, President Franklin D. Roosevelt had assured the Arabs in 1945 that the United States would not intervene without consulting both the Jews and the Arabs in that region. The British, who held a colonial mandate for Palestine until May 1948, opposed both the creation of a Jewish state and an Arab state in Palestine, as well as unlimited immigration of Jewish refugees to the region. Great Britain wanted to preserve good relations with the Arabs to protect its vital political and economic interests in Palestine. Okay? From 48, before any of us was born, the United States was in. So all this shit that y'all thinking that Israel tell them what to do and no. It appears they want you to believe that. Anglo-Saxon phase over here. are the ones pushing. Now, let's go. Soon after President Truman took office, he appointed several experts to study the Palestinian issue. In the summer of 1946, Truman established a special cabinet committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Henry F. Grady, right? Fucking ant. Excuse me, Henry F. Grady, an assistant secretary of state who entered into negotiations with a parallel British committee to discuss the future of Palestine. In May 1946, Truman announced his approval of a recommendation to admit 100,000 displaced persons into Palestine, and in October publicly declared his support for the creation of a Jewish state. All right? His creation of a Jewish state. Throughout 1947, the United Nations Special Commission on Palestine examined the Palestinian question and recommended the partition of Palestine into a Jewish and an Arab state. On November 29, 1947, the United Nations adopted Resolution 181, also known as the Partition Resolution, that would divide Great Britain's former Palestinian mandate into Jewish and Arab states in May 1948, when the Jewish mandate was scheduled to end. So now, when you sitting and you thinking that all this shit is new, or it just started with many of us with Arafat and the PLO, and we first seeing them come through and doing what they do, and the hostages and the Olympics and all. No, this shit been here. This shit been here since Cary Grant and all them, Nick. This shit been here. All right? So when you getting these rap dudes being used by these old ass bankers, you like, what does that have to do with us? How does that black ass rapper or athlete getting to it with them benefit us? It doesn't. But you still look to them, y'all still say, damn, he getting to it. He get that fuck with your mind. Y'all think they doing something. And the only reason why they got these big monkey face, long, robotic ass security with them is because they could pay them a little something. That's it. That's it. Okay? But they don't love them security dudes. They don't. The minute one of them O-Fays want to get rid of one of them security dudes, he out of here. But look at the damage, look at the evil that he's doing, protecting his little bastard. And believing that he's somebody doing it. I'm security for Floyd. Not knowing that he's securing this bastard who's pushing all of his intellectual property or his creativity or his athleticism to keep this Israeli state funded. They take that. Let me get that. But he's illiterate. He's unlearned. He's remedial. So we can't blame him. He's a dummy. That's why he's dummy made. But I don't know these big burly security dudes. I don't know if they're just as dumb and unlearned. But I know what I see. Okay? Let's continue, because the genocide comes as a result of this, right? Now, I want you to understand something. when all that came about, what do y'all think we was doing? See, because they never really give you the true science for a couple of decades, right? You got World War I, where you had hundreds of thousands of black soldiers and Tuskegee and all them, you know, airmen and all that other stuff, right? Then you had the Great Depression, right? Then you had World War II. Then you had the Korean War, right? In that space, most of the people who were enslaved became sharecroppers, and they was just out there, right? Then you, of course, you get what they want to push off on is the Harlem Renaissance, right? The 20s and 30s, and right, we believe that, you know, the Italians and the Jewish mafias ran everything, right? And you get Bumpy and all of them. But what really was we doing politically? What was going on? You understand? How was we being handled? We was being handled terribly, but they keep you focused on civil rights in the civil rights era. Okay? And then we get into the 60s and the 70s, and we get radical with the Black Power movement, but there was a space in that time where we got to go back and try to look and say, yo, what the hell was we doing before we got the Thurgood Marshall and all that shit? We got to figure this out so we can connect some dots. Let's go. Right? People petitioned the world, right? The UN, when it was created. When this dude coined the phrase genocide, there was a movement. And in the video that y'all sent the clip, she broke it down. But they put a document together, right? The document pointed out that the United Nations Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Genocide defined genocide as any acts committed, right? When we said with intent to destroy a group in whole or in part. To build its case for black genocide, which is what these scholars and intellectuals push, because we was going through it, but you still had individuals that was rocking and rolling and knew what was going on, right? To build this case for black genocide, the document that they pushed, right, with the black scholars and intellectuals of that time, okay? To build this case for black genocide, the document cited many instances of lynching in the United States, as well as legal discrimination, disenfranchisement of blacks in the South, a series of incidents of police brutality dating to the present, and systematic inequalities in health and quality of life. The central argument was the U.S. government is both complicit in and responsible for a genocidal situation based on the UN's own definition of genocide. You understand? Eric Brown, much appreciation for the super chat. This is what they're saying. You get it? That we ourselves here was going through a genocide based on the definition that the UN was using, that was coined by this Bagelmeister. So they're saying if it's good enough for them back then, it's good enough for us. The document received international media attention before anything was viral. You understand? Yeah. When they were still using typewriters and shit. All right? The document received international media attention and became caught up in Cold War politics as the CRC was supported by the American Communist Party. It many examples of shocking conditions of African Americans shaped beliefs about the United States in countries across the world. So just like in the civil rights era, when they started showing this shit on TV, this document predated that across the world. This document is showing people who are intellectual and reading and saying, yo, hold up. United States is over here fighting and carrying on and bombing and doing all type of wild shit, but over there, they have a genocide going on, just like in Israel today. Same people. So you wondering why they spend billions and they clicked up. So what black man, what melanated man would ever ride with them, would ever sit with them and be buddies with them if they wasn't holding him by his grippers? Because it makes no, you can't be that dumb and ignorant. There's no way. You understand? But better yet, if he is that dumb and remedial and ignorant and illiterate and so self-loathing, you would have to at least assume that his security ain't that dumb. All of them can't be that dumb. They just are hateful enough of their own people that they don't care. Let's continue. The United States government and the press accused the CRC of exaggerating racial inequality in order to advance the cause of communism. Now, they saying that that paper is false. They couldn't prove it. Now, y'all just yapping. But we see that they all knocked out old Charlie Caldwell back in the 1870s. And Perin. That ain't old. That's right. They've been doing this. But they saying that this document created by these Negroes is false. The U.S. State Department forced CRC Secretary William L. Patterson to surrender his passport after he presented the petition to a UN meeting in Paris. And they said Malcolm was going to push it again. It was about that time again. So you see what we talking about here? This is the, nah, we ain't doing that in the States. Just like old Netanyahu and them saying, no, this is not genocide. No, those people, there's no famine. Even though people looking, like Cat Williams said, don't you know I can see you? Like, we see you. But Floyd Mayweather rocks with them. You understand? Okay. I just want you to understand that now. That black Republicans have been getting bodied since the 1860s. That when this little Ofe Euro Bagelmeister coined the term genocide, we tried to apply it back then. Let's go. As evidence, the 237-page petition addresses the question of racism in the United States from different angles. It lists hundreds of wrongful executions and lynchings, refers to at least 10,000 undocumented cases, and also charges that southern states in the U.S. had engaged in a conspiracy against African Americans' ability to vote through poll taxes and literacy tests. How can y'all ever sit with Ofes and be in unions with them and call them your buddies and talk to them at the water fountain and love them? How? This ain't accident, this shit is deliberate. In addition to legal discrimination, the petition discusses systematic economic inequalities and differences in quality of life. This is the 50s. Man, we in 2025. What the fuck do y'all care about a damn Charlie Kirk? That's deflecting. You ain't get out of your condition yet. Let's continue. Ultimately, the petition holds the U.S. government responsible for genocide through endorsement of both racism and monopoly capitalism, without which the persistent, constant, widespread, institutionalized commission of the crime of genocide would be impossible. They knew that in the 50s. So why do y'all come and try to argue me down when I tell you to stop separating yourself based on some stupid ass tag that somebody invented? Letters and acronyms and bullshit. Just because they believe that these same old faces gonna give you a reparation, that they gonna... Are y'all stupid? Let's continue. Seeking to demonstrate the urgency of the problem and to invite explicit comparisons between American genocide and Nazi genocide, the document focuses on incidents occurring after 1945. The CRC only focused on incidents of mob violence and police terror since 1945. That is to say, since America proclaimed itself the leader of the free world, the charge of genocide in the wake of the Holocaust was devastating. It was more wrenching under the Klieg lights of the Korean War and American platitudes about democracy. And everyone knew it. The CRC procured source material carefully, and critics of the document acknowledged that its facts were correct. After it became clear that the CRC had, in fact, meticulously verified each incident, while tried another tactic, the facts are true. Okay? But like all indictments drafted by a prosecutor, we charge genocide is one-sided. This is what Mr. White was saying, okay? Now, they dismissed it. The CRC sought to demonstrate that systematic oppression of African Americans amounted to genocide because it reflected a violent white supremacy at the core of American culture. At the core of American culture, there were lynchings, there were mob violence, there was inequality in economics and in education. Same things that are going on right now. Same thing. Our Holocaust continues. Our genocide continues. How dare you look over here and care about anything that happened to any of them? How? We charge genocide was ignored by much of the mainstream American press. One exception, the Chicago Tribune, called it shameful lies. This is what they said. This is what they said. Okay? The CRC, and this is what these journalists are saying, had communist affiliations. The document attracted international attention through the Worldwide Communist Party. Raphael Lemkin, who invented the term genocide and advocated for the Genocide Convention, disagreed with the petition because the African American population was increasing in size. So this damn Ofe, who made the term up because we were having babies, because we were growing, because we had the potential to be greater, he said, oh shit, nah, y'all ain't going through what we went through. He accuses authors of wishing to distract attention from the genocides in the Soviet Union, which have resulted in millions of unalivements because of their communist sympathies. Okay? Others said, especially the New York Times, argues that African Americans did not experience the destruction, death, annihilation that would qualify their treatment as genocide. But y'all say y'all could work with them. Y'all say I could go into a room of white folk and tell them my dream. Y'all sit there and say shit like, I wake up in the morning thinking about how I could get my boss some money. That's what they say. And how I could get me a little bit. This is what these niggas say. And you got dumbass niggas protecting them. Yeah. Until you start sending these young YNs at them. Educate these little dudes. Show them how they can be appreciated. Stop demonizing them and pushing them to the side. Grow them up. It is important that you know it. Why? Why? Because when they dismiss your genocide, when they write you out of their history, okay, as if you weren't Republican, then the danger is they can put you right back in the same position that you were in. Why? Because they never ratified the constitutional amendments to take you out of slavery. Never did it. It's still on and popping. So if you are still sitting in that space, you're dead and stinking. That means that even the migrants may have a better status than you. Because at least they come from somewhere. What is your status? Who are you? This is why y'all keep asking me, well, who are you? You ain't FBA, you ain't this, you ain't that, you ain't American. Who are you? I'm telling you. That situation is deep because they don't acknowledge you as an American. You were enslaved. You were property like their dogs. The same dogs that they put shoes on now and walk. That's how white folk used to look at you. Oh, wow. You put slaves on, you put shoes on your slaves? Y'all thought the shit was funny in Django. Ooh, what that nigga doing up on that mare? Because they treated you like a dog, like pets. They would clothe you when they wanted to. But y'all sit there and worship dudes who sit with them and mock you. Yeah, you can't buy that. Yeah, you can't get that. Yo, yeah, look at this. See, this is the shit y'all do. Y'all do. Now, if you think this is a game, let's continue. Yeah, we come in full circle. The Corwin Amendment is a proposed amendment to the United States Constitution that has never been adopted, but owing to the absence of a ratification deadline, could theoretically still be adopted by the state legislatures. It would have shielded slavery within the states from the federal constitutional amendment process and from abolition or interference by Congress. Although the Corwin Amendment does not explicitly use the word slavery, it was designed specifically to protect slavery from federal power. The outgoing 36th United States Congress proposed the Corwin Amendment on March 2nd, 1861, shortly before the outbreak of the American Civil War, with the intent of preventing that war and preserving the Union. It passed Congress, but was not ratified by the requisite number of state legislatures. This is simple English. This is not hard. Rewind it, replay it if you did not hear it. Look it up. This ain't cap. This ain't AI. Excuse me, AI. Okay? It's not. Let's continue. Several southern states seceded after the 1860 presidential election, eventually forming the Confederate States of America. Several federal legislative measures, including the Corwin Amendment, were proposed during this period in hope of either reconciling the sections of the United States or avoiding the secession of the border states. Senator William H. Seward and Representative Thomas Corwin, Republicans and allies of President-elect Abraham Lincoln, introduced the Corwin Amendment. You understand? Now, what were we doing? Again, sitting back, being reactionary. Same shit you doing today. You sitting back. Oh, yeah, look at what's going on. Waiting for somebody to bust a move on you. Like somebody said in the chat earlier, chess. You just sitting back, reactionary, wondering. While these niggas stunting in your face. The Floyds, the Meek Mills, the Rick Rosses, right? The Ocho Cincos, the Atlanta Lady Legs, nigga, all these dudes, right? In your face, telling you that they rock with Master. And you don't think you should tell them YNs, yo, it's time? What are y'all doing? You don't think that y'all supposed to be giving them knowledge of self? And yeah, nah. Because it's not enough to tell them not to clap at each other. That ain't nothing. That's not going to hold them. They have to be active. They are soldiers. They're warriors. Warriors don't sit idle. You got to feed them. What better way to feed them than have them go at these niggas that sit with Master every day? I'll wait. While we wait, let's get back to this. No amendment shall be made to the Constitution which will authorize or give to Congress the power to abolish or interfere within any state with the domestic institutions thereof. domestic institutions, including that of persons held to labor or service by the laws of said state. Which is saying the feds can't override what the states is doing. If we want these niggas to pick cotton, they gonna pick cotton. Or work in the federal penitentiary making iPhone chips. Either or. You choose. Same shit. Let's continue. The text refers to slavery with terms such as domestic institutions. Just like instead of them calling you an N-word, a nigger, they call you a rapper. So instead of saying slavery, domestic institutions, instead of saying nigger, they say rapper. Instead of saying homeless, they say unhoused. When are you going to use your language to define yourself? Father Law said we are gods. God's cipher divine. That's what he said. I'm saying we are universal beings of truth. There's no ceiling. There's no border. There's no flag that can represent us. Let's get back to what the O-Face said. The text refers to slavery with terms such as domestic institutions and persons held to labor or service and avoids using the word slavery. Following the examples set at the Constitutional Convention of 1787, which referred to slavery in its draft of the Constitution with comparable descriptions of legal status, persons held to service, quote unquote. The number or the whole number of free persons, 3/5 of all other persons, quote unquote, the migration and importation of such persons. No amendment of this Constitution having for its object any interference within the states with the relations between their citizens and those described in second section of the first article of the Constitution as, quote unquote, all other persons shall originate with any state that does not recognize that relation within its own limits, or shall be valid without the assent of every one of the states composing the Union. Wow! The House debated the measure over the ensuing weeks. Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas had joined South Carolina in seceding from the Union. The contentious atmosphere in the House during the debate was relieved by abolitionist Republican Owen Lovejoy of Illinois, who questioned the amendment's reach. Quote unquote, he said, does that include polygamy, the other twin relic of barbarism? Does that gentleman desire to know whether he shall be prohibited from committing that crime? This is the debates. This is the shit that they talking about you, about me, about what the hell another individual is saying about how we live. White folk did that, and they still do it. Redlining, perfect credit score used to be 600. Then it went up to 650, 680, then it's 7. Who is doing that? You think it's a bunch of niggas running around the tables doing that? Mortgage interest rates and all that? You see niggas, what's somebody saying what you gonna do? And you ain't tired of that shit yet? And you ain't looking at any nigga that mess with them as your enemy? You serious? This is what y'all doing? Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay? Now, how many of y'all can sit and love an oath? I want to know. I want to know. Because this may not be this class for you. 170 in here. The same 3 or 4 people, right, are the same ones who fund the war effort. The same 3 or 4 people who do it every night. So I question that. Because I'm trying to figure out how many safe houses do we have? For me, I'm good. Me and my team. How about when I need a battalion of safe houses, food, okay? Hand-to-hand combat, drones, and all that shit. Because your enemy has deputized people. Damn his regular army. Because they always losing. People don't go enlist. Their enlistment rates suck. They make the enlistment rates go up by starving the people in the street. By making it difficult to get into college. So now the armed services seems appealing. But they don't have enough. So what they do, they enlist mercenaries and call them ICE and Homeland Security. What are you doing for your war effort? I want to know, because our people was getting busy. Yeah. Y'all sitting idle now. Y'all letting these dudes run around talking about they got $250 chains on. $250,000 chains on. And watches that cost $1 million. And y'all know they getting hit in their grippers, or they hitting them Ofays in the grippers. So y'all letting Now Later and Skittle do that shit wouldn't happen. It wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. Every one of your favorite rappers from early eras could not do shit in New York City streets. I'm telling you that as a matter of fact. Niggas couldn't wear no jewelry. Nothing. And that punk ass hollow shit was $300, $400, $500. You think that dude could have came in Union Square or Latin Quarters with something worth $250 on his neck? He would have looked just like Charlie Kirk. Guarantee that shit. Don't give a fuck how many he had with him or who he thought he was. Rap dudes is pussy. I'm telling you that for a fact. You ain't giving back. And back then, they had no position. They couldn't give back. They wasn't making no bread. Everybody in the street was making more money than a rap dude. They couldn't even wear certain sneakers. They couldn't wear low goose. And I'm telling you that as a fact. That's undebatable. It's unquestioned. They got their jaw broke if they wore the wrong coat. And y'all letting these niggas run around with $250,000 house money on their neck and wrist? And and y'all know they go and sit with Ophase and make deals? Yeah, okay. And if you think I'm playing, be more Maryland, y'all in the building? Do y'all know y'all history? Do y'all know y'all history? Do you know the history of politics in Maryland? If not, because it's 12 minutes to 1, let me run this down since you think that I'm just saying that because I'm an East New York dude, because I'm a reform stick-up kid, because I be on some Brooklyn bullshit. Let me show you where that energy come from. Let's go. On July 13th, 1973, Scott. Come on, Maryland. Y'all know about Scott? Tell me y'all know about Scott, Maryland. Come on. Talk about it, Maryland. Do y'all know where I'm getting ready to go? Frankie Fitz, what's going on? Much appreciation. Fun to watch. Y'all know where we going? Tell me y'all know where I'm going when I'm talking about Scott in 1973. No? Well, let's go. Because y'all think that the streets and hustle is negative and regressive. And I'm telling you, it's not the streets. It's the mentality. Because you got same old phases on the same streets. Y'all call it gentrification. It ain't the streets. And I'm telling you that there's specific behaviors and certain type of hustles that people had to use to sustain themselves. On July 13th, 1973, politician Scott, Scott, was found unalived in a parking garage of the Sutton Place apartment complex located in the Bolton Hill neighborhood of Baltimore. A preliminary examination showed that Scott was unalived by 2 shotgun blasts, one in the chest and another in the side, and was also clapped in the back and chest with a small caliber handgun. Scott also had a large, unexplained gash on his throat and had a broken left leg. Accordingly to the police report, 2 12-gauge shotgun shells were found about 5 feet from Scott's body, and several 22 caliber shells were recovered 40 feet from the body. Okay? Now, in April 1973, let me repeat, Scott was what? Come on now. Because that was in July. April 1973, Scott was charged with arranging for the transportation of about 40 pounds of heroin between New York and Baltimore during 1971 and 1972. He was set to stand trial on August 20th, but was assassinated by individuals claiming to be affiliated with a group called Black October. All right? Black October. Sherman Dobson, a 20-year-old, was charged with taking out Mr. Scott, but he was acquitted of those charges in December 1975. Mr. Scott's unalivement remains unsolved. Listen to what I'm saying. About 35 pieces of paper were found scattered around the garage where Scott was bodied. Several of the flyers depicted a hand-drawn machine gun in large letters reading Black October, with other sheets reading Black October off the pusher, and selling drugs is an act of treason. The penalty for treason is death. Black October was reported to be the slogan used by a group of Vietnam War veterans who have vowed to execute narcotics dealers in the black community, with several instances of the slogan having been sprayed painted onto the sides of buildings in East Baltimore for several months leading up to Scott's assassination. So when I keep telling you that rap dudes, that's all they talk about is getting money, selling drugs, and doing this and doing that, supposed to be lunch meat, you think that I'm just pulling this shit from the air? You really think that people wasn't putting in serious pain on these dudes that was destroying our babies and our women? You think that we could just walk through and dudes is just gonna change up? They just not gonna do it because you asking them not to do it? You think that we not gonna have to get busy? You think that you supposed to turn away from the screen when you seeing somebody getting clapped? Nah, it don't work like that. I don't know who lied to y'all. I think you could go and hit an old fade with a Bible or a Quran and say, please don't do this no more. And we'd like some reparations. You think that shit work? You think you gonna walk up in the hoods and say, yo, y'all stop smoking cracks, stop doing Fenty, and just live life and enjoy yourself. Here, eat some broccoli. Y'all think that shit gonna work? You burning sage and all this other stupid shit? You think that's gonna work? Scott's body was found by another Sutton Place resident, 1:30 a.m. At 1:40 a.m., a reporter for the Baltimore Sun receiving an anonymous phone call from an individual claiming to be a member of Black October. In the phone call, the individual credits Scott's unalivement to the Black October group and describes the weapons used in the unaliving and where Scott's body could be found before abruptly hanging up. Later that day, the Baltimore Sun received another phone call claiming that Scott gave his killers the names of several large-scale heroin dealers moments before he was unalived, with the caller adding that they could never have gotten these names from any other source, and some of them will be next. This is the work. When you have somebody doing the work of the OFE, how dare you not do what you know needs to be done? How dare you not? When you see rappers that spit that garbage, how dare you not put them up under the barrel? When you see them clowning, when you see them wearing dresses, when you see them with nail polish on, when you see them still canoodling and running around with old-fake broads and encouraging your women to get BBLs and talking down on black women and the black community, how can you not whisper in the youngin's ear, say, that's it right there? How can you not feed them information? How can you, in all of your girth and strength, be security for somebody who is consistently in a space of making sure that the old phase know that he's going to do whatever he can to feed their cause as they destroy anything melanated? What kind of security nigga are y'all? Can y'all tag these dumbass niggas and ask them? Like, what the hell's the matter with you? That based on the Constitution, we still enslaved. Y'all just don't know it. That we done did everything. We done petitioned everywhere. Everywhere. Do you get it? Y'all don't get it that there's no other way? There's no other way. So I don't know what y'all looking for. I don't know. I don't know who else is going to come and go viral. And y'all going to sit and support and move and push. That's going to tell y'all nothing. That's going to leave you with a bunch of nothing. Come on, man. I'm good. I work every day for my people. I educate every day for my people. I'm a disciplined soldier. Trust that. But at some point, I'm not going to be here. Okay? I'm not going to be here. We're going to have to get low. So again, to those who funded the war effort, much appreciation. To those who don't, I hope your little, whatever you do, your, your Starbucks latte with the extra shot, you know, whatever you do, your little Hennessy nips or whatever you do, your blue chew, whatever little things that you are engaged in, other than building a nation, have at it. Because the shit ain't gonna last. Guaranteed. Nothing that you do is gonna last. Nothing. I guarantee you that shit. Because when you see them in broad daylight knocking each other off, shit. War right around the corner, baby. Oh yeah. War's right around the corner. Are you prepared? That's the question. Are you prepared? Have y'all organized enough? Do y'all know the strategies and tactics? Are you doing recognizance in your areas? Are you counting how many times the D's come through? Are you watching all of the undocumented construction? You could be laying shit right up under your streets. We don't know. We don't take the time to know. But y'all in the streets all day. Y'all gang members are standing around all day, not knowing shit about your area. Nothing. Your fiber optic lines, nothing. Y'all just nothing. Just banging at each other and looking for somebody butt to bust open. That's it. the old faith gonna give you that same treatment. So keep doing it. Again, my comrades will find me, and I'm gone. Trust and believe that, because I got the war. I can't be sitting around bullshitting. So again, to those who funded the war effort, salute, much appreciation. My classroom assistants, as always, much love for holding it down. Holding me down as always. Okay? Remember, come back to class with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. 10 fingers, 10 toes. Be safe out here. Be safe out here. And I had a little incident today. Been drained and was trying. So I'm advising y'all, I don't care who you are around, who is in your day-to-day life. Allow somebody to have a track, you and them. Location. Share your location with somebody. It's so important. So important. We need to know where each other is at all times. It is so, listen, never mind the ignorant people that we got to deal with. Never mind these new people that we don't know where they come from. We got our own that's sick and offbeat. So we have to get in the habit of moving like soldiers. You can't just think that you're going to be ready for war. It's not like that. It's an exercise. It's a practice. Why the hell you think the military consistently go on maneuvers, war games? When I was in Germany, we going to Grafenwehr, Hornsfeld. We staying out there reading maps, terrain, going to ranges, simulated battles. Because you got to be in the habit of it. Why you think them YNs run around like that? You got to be in a consistent habit of doing it to stay sharp. So if you a regular Joe and you working in it, you not funding the war effort, you not doing shit, when the shit pop off, you gonna freeze. You gonna freeze. You not knowing what to do. It's gonna be a shock. Get in the habit of doing this. You're not even in the habit of supporting. You think you just going, oh, word. No, that shit don't work like that. That's why the ones who do it always do it. Because they've been in the habit of doing it. They done did it to some bozo. They done gave Tariq some shit. They've been disappointed. They done gave it to Polite. They've been giving it to Umar. But they're in the habit of doing it because they're trying to find that authentic individual or group. So they're in the habit of doing it. That's why you hear the same names, because it's a habit. So when it's time for war, they moving. You know what to do. Like somebody that works out. You just ain't gonna get up. You ain't work out. You 40 now, all of a sudden, yeah, I'm gonna hit the gym. It don't work like that. No. There's a habit. You understand? There's a habit. There's a thought. There's militancy. When I'm telling you F or O for F them. You don't have no sympathy for them. It stops. And all that shit done washed your mind. A pledge of allegiance, stand up, and all this other. Get that shit up out of your system. They showing you it don't matter. They showing you. They telling you in written word. Get out of the habit of doing it and start to love yourself. Don't believe in me, believe in my belief in you. Don't believe in me, believe in my belief in you. We gonna win. Concentrate, get your discipline up, breathe. You need anger management, you need coaching, book your assessment. Book your assessment. Okay? I'll see you when I see you. 55 gang, get y'all grades up.